Welcome to episode 14 of the Faculty Miniseries, a monthly video series that highlights various library supports for faculty. My name is Jane Fu, and I am the Systems and Data Librarian here at Seneca College. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the library resources that you can use for teaching and more. I'll show you how to get started and provide a couple of tips on what to do if you or your students encounter issues accessing any of these resources. So, one of the main things that we do at the library is to provide all Senecans with access to fully licensed and published content, both academic and popular. Why, you ask, when the internet is already offering so much for free? Well, how do you pick the information that's right for what you need? Think of the internet as a wilderness of information, and what we've done is to build paths and shortcuts, and some lead to great scenic lookouts that you may have never found otherwise. So because we offer content from so many different publishers and distributors who all have their own unique content platforms, we carefully review each terms of use and learn as much as we can about each system before we subscribe and make it available to you. Quite often this includes having to test functionalities and talk to the vendor about things that do not work the way we want or expect, like copyright and accessibility. Here are 3 easy ways to start from our library website at https://library.senecacollege.ca. 1. Use the search on our homepage to look for any items from many of our resources. I won't be going into any details about library search, but you can watch a brief video here. 2. Find resources specific to your program through our subject guides. These are research guides created and curated for Seneca-specific programs and subject areas. 3. Access a specific database through the Databases A to Z button. This brings you to the complete list of our licensed content. Unless you know exactly what you're looking for, save yourself some serious amount of time and talk to your liaison librarian or email librarians@senecacollege.ca. They can recommend the best databases for your situation. So what's next? Here's an example that will hopefully help you get comfy with our resources. Let's say that you are creating an assignment that asks your students to explore the potential market for technology, say fiber connection service in rural areas across Canada. We have several databases that are useful and contain a multitude of information such as customer demographic and industry trends. Or maybe you just want to know who the main players are. You can find some of that stuff through Google. However, the information is rarely complete and you will still have to spend time verifying that the contents are accurate and current. While you can find a lot of useful articles and books through library search, for this particular research topic, I would go directly to one of our specialized databases because I know that regular news and scholarly articles do not do this type of business research, and I really like MarketLine for this task. To get to MarketLine, just type the name into the library search. Yes, it can do that. Or you can click on the red button called Databases A to Z and then select MarketLine from the alphabetic list. If you're curious about all the resources under a specific subject area, filter the entire list by subject. In this case, I choose marketing. And look, MarketLine is one of the best bets recommendations. Just as a side note, many of our databases have help sheets or videos that can go a long way in helping you familiarize yourself with their content and functions. For MarketLine, you'll see quite a few short video clips that explain the different types of reports that are available. Furthermore, each database has a link to more details in terms of use. You can refer to this type of information when you're planning your course materials because they tell you explicitly what you're allowed to do with the content. For instance, you can create a course pack, provide printouts to students, etc. Okay, back to MarketLine. After you click on the link to the database, you'll see a page with the acceptable use guidelines for electronic resources. Scroll right down to the bottom and click on the link that says Proceed to MarketLine. This looks easy enough, but I want to point out that there are other databases that are not as straightforward to get into and may require additional authentication steps. The majority of our databases can be accessed by just using your Seneca login and password. A few databases require Seneca login and password plus a personal account for the database, which you have to create yourself the first time you access the resource. Or you will need a Seneca login and a password plus a college-wide login. Make sure to pay attention to any special text shown underneath the Proceed to link to see if there are any extra authentication steps. Okay, like in MarketLine, a lot of databases come with their own searches. These can be very useful because they're optimized for certain types of content. A multi-resource search like a library search cannot be that specialized. So let's try and put in fiber network service and see what we get. Or I could simply browse by geographies, Canada in this case, and then hone in on specific industries, say telecommunications, and then look at a specific topic like FTTH. I'm going to stop at this point, but as you can see, there's a world of content to dig through once you get started. Here are some things to try when you or your students have trouble accessing any of our resources. Some of the more common questions and problems are: how do I get this article, book, or video? The library search is a good start, but not everything is available through it. If you have trouble locating a particular item, first make sure that the information about the item is correct, and a quick Google search can help with that. If it is a particular article, try our journal search if you have the citation information, like journal issue, volume, date, or page numbers. If you're pretty sure that the item is in a particular resource, like Films on Demand, you can also use the specific search within that resource. I can't log in. It keeps telling me that I have an incorrect password. There's a good chance that the login or password entered was not the right one. Close your browser and clear your cache, then reopen a new incognito browser session. Manually type in your username and password. Do not use autofilling or pre-saved passwords. If you want to be certain, first type your password into Notepad and then copy and paste that text into the password field. There are also two specific error messages that indicate that we have to manually resolve an access issue. Your account does not have access to use the system. This may occur at the beginning of a semester and often means that the user did not get any access privileges. Once we confirm that the user is an active Seneca employee or student, we submit a ticket to ITS on the user's behalf to request an update to their account. Your IP address does not have access to use the system. This may occur throughout the semester and simply means that the login page was spammed with an incorrect password until the intruder alert was triggered, resulting in a permanent IP address block. The library has to manually reset access in this case. Also, if you or your student's username is very long, try and enter only the first 20 characters instead of the entire username. Other issues may include a broken link, a page that is not loading, or functionality that is not working, for instance, downloading or printing. We offer extensive support for any of these issues. Just use the Ask Us Live button on any other library pages during business hours, or text us, or submit a question through our email. library@senecacollege.ca is probably the easiest one to remember. And that's it. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Remember, you can always contact your liaison librarian at librarians@senecacollege.ca or reach out to the library systems team at librarytechhelp@senecacollege.ca if you have more questions and comments.